Alrighty, I've got another unboxing here, just following up from last one. The reason I've got these unboxings happening is setting up my whole room here differently. New desk, new gear, screens, keyboards, everything. Audio as well. Still haven't got my camera sorted out, so I'm still using the old GoPro here for this kind of thing. But what I'm unboxing today is what I'm going to use to record guitar, playback, of course, all of my equipment, and also use as a record microphone, which I haven't got set up yet. Like this, for example, is just going through the GoPro thing. Haven't figured out what I'm going to use for a mic, because it needs to work both for on-ear sort of head-based stuff and also stuff where the microphone can be on a stand elsewhere. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it in any case. So I've been looking at lots of different mixers, and it's a big confusing field. And I ended up getting one of these Behringer series ones. I got the earlier model, 1002 USB, QX1022 USB, which was fine, but it was faulty. It kept causing the computer audio to freeze. The whole computer would freeze, so it had some kind of issue. I've been using it's a bit too far away, but I've been using a little Wharfedale for several years, a little Wharfedale USB mixer, which works fine, but it hasn't got the ins and outs that I want, and it hasn't got the routing in particular, and that's the key part, is the routing of the signal. And so I'll unbox this just for fun, because it's new. It's always fun to unbox something new. Half the fun of getting something. And just have a look at it, and I'll explain what I'm trying to do, and again why I upgraded to this model. As I say, I started off with the QX1002, and the issue with these devices is you need to be able to hear what's playing on your computer in your DAW, like say tracks that you've already recorded, drums and bass and whatever. You need to be able to hear that, and you want to hear that coming out of the computer into the USB of this and being played back out the mix. You want to hear it. And then you also want to record something, say your guitar, stereo maybe, coming in here and sent to your DAW for recording at the same time as you're listening to what's already been recorded. So that's all really obvious, right? Makes sense. And the bit where it falls down is monitoring what you're playing. So whilst you're recording it, you need to also, whilst you're recording your guitar, you need to hear your guitar so that you can play it, because it's difficult to play without hearing it. And so being able to send your guitar signal out the USB, getting a signal in from the USB of something else, and also hearing that guitar out somewhere at the same time so you can hear it. That part there is not as simple as it might seem. So the lower mixers have trouble doing this. There are hacks. You can take outs and go into ins and do all kinds of things to try and make it work. But I decided that the last one was faulty, the 1002, so as part of returning it, I just thought, hey, I'll just upgrade to a bigger one. I looked at the 1204 USB QX, which is very nice. It's got two of these channels less, so it's a bit narrower, which I would have appreciated. But it hasn't got as many routing options here, and so because this doesn't cost much more, these are all incredibly cheap, these mixers. That's the funny thing about them. Because this one wasn't that much more, I thought, I'll go up, I'll definitely have the routing options, I won't look back. So I did it. And when I say cheap, these things are actually very old. They're all announced like in 2010, 2011. If you look up videos on YouTube, there's very little, and it goes way back. And sort of that's why I'm doing this now, because it's the same old mixer, but a new video, and it's today. I'll hook it up to new gear and see how it works and so on. So these are often very, very old, and they've got different models. They've got the one that's just on its own, like called X, something like that, and that's without the USB. And then they've got, just the number alone is just the mixer, and then they've got like the mixer with USB, And then you get the mixer with USB and X, which stands for effects units. So they have actual digital effects unit built into them. And then they have the QX, which really means quality effects. So this is an upgraded effects unit, a branded one by some company called Clark or something, Clark Technique. And so it's a better effects unit. So if you're getting one, you may as well get the QX USB. That's the one to get. There's no point getting the older ones. And let's get into this. Right, how do we do it? Here we go. In the top, sorry, my camera's on a gooseneck up here. It's just going to have to be there and deal with it as it is. Yep, this looks all fresh and unopened. Well, I don't know. Maybe it has been opened. It sort of looks a bit opened. Yeah, it looks pretty fresh. That's nice. You always want a fresh one, because that last one that I had, I wasn't actually sure it was completely fresh. And I'm going to look at the packaging on this one, look at the taping to see if it was, because the other one looked like it had been taped up, opened and then retaped. Of course, by the time I'd opened it and retaped it, it was even more obviously retaped. Oh yes, see, this is taped in a different way. Yeah, I think I'm right. I think it was opened and retaped. And as I say, because you can get these and they're like 5 years old, you know, you could be getting, you know, if you buy a demo model, it could have been sitting around a shop for 5 years. That's a little bit of a munge in that corner. That corner's fine. And this corner's fine. And there's the manual right there. There we go. I'll vacuum that all up later. So that's had a bit of a smack on that corner, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing that's going to damage it. They're really, really well made, these Behringers, for the price. I mean, it's amazing what you can get. Even for several years now, you can get... I mean, I'm from an era when things like this cost tens of thousands of dollars, you know, 30 years ago. A mixing desk was something big and very special. And then it turned in, you know, all the jobs went to China. Apparently Behringer has a city like, you know, like the Apple people, Foxconn do, where this is all they make. And so they make all this stuff, and it's cheap because, of course, people don't get paid properly. And so, so this, since then, since globalization, stuff like this has become incredibly cheap. That's the point. It's just incredibly, ridiculously cheap. And so at home you can have an amazing mixing desk with jacks and pots all over it that, you know, quite a long time ago would have cost a bomb to buy. And so now they don't. So that's sort of quite impressive that you can even have these sorts of things. Okay. Ugh. I don't know about that. There we go. I'll just do that. Let's see what it comes with. I think it comes with it comes with a USB, and once you go up to this level, or the 1204 and up, you get a proper lead. The ones that are lower than that just have a dongle power supply, external supply with a really terrible lead. Looks like an old IBM PS2 keyboard lead. And so these ones have a proper lead, proper internal power. And they're just so nice. They're sort of a copy of a Mackie desk, sort of in the appearance and the way it looks and so on, which is a good thing. So this looks as good as they typically do look. Yeah, let's get down into that. Very nice, very nice. Now this GoPro doesn't focus, so there's not a lot I can do about that. It's actually reasonably sharp considering how close it's getting. So just to look at it, this effects unit here has a whole bunch of presets. And at this level, the QX level, you can actually change the parameters. Just a few parameters are each. The most important parameters, like, you know, delay time and feedback, say, on a given thing. And so you can do that. You just switch between the patches. You go plonk to apply, and that's very cool. Whereas the model that's just called the X doesn't have the parameters, so you're just stuck with the presets. So that's another reason to get this model up. Now I'm hoping that and I'm pretty certain I'll be able to get the routing right, so that I can split off one of these channels for monitoring by sending it to a sub channel here, this one, sub 1 and 2, and then send it out here for monitoring. That's what I should be able to do whilst I'm recording at the same time with that. I believe that should work. If it doesn't, I will be very disappointed, but I'm pretty sure that's going to work fine. What else? We got balanced ins here, line levels, which is nice. We've got a gain, your input gain on each one, which is nice. And these are nice features of these Behringers. Is this little compression knob, which is quite nice, which is very nice. You know, I mean, instead of having to send it out, send your mic compression or whatever out to an external effect and bring it back in, there you go. It's ready to go right there. The advantage of the 1622 model over the 1204 is that it doesn't have it's got a 3-band EQ, but the mid is parametric in this one. So you got a sweepable mid, which is, you know, the other one, if you have a fixed mid, of course it sits in the wrong place for certain things. Normally I'd only use these for just playing around when I'm listening to music or whatever, so I might have my old cassette, my old Nakamichi deck will probably come in through one of these, come down here, and I'll just have some EQ on that for my listening to tapes. That's what that would be for, to EQ for the room here. And there we go. What else have we got? Just check out the back. On the back, what have we got? Ooh. Main outs. So for my monitors, which for years now I've just been running using mono leads out of my other little mixer, I went and I bought some XLR leads. So I'm finally doing that right. So they're going to go in there and go to my speakers. So I bought 2 of those. I also bought a, there's the USB there. These are the extra outputs here. That's that extra sub out, and here's that control room out. So that should let me monitor these my music, my guitar, whilst I'm playing it and recording it. That's the point of those. Got a nice power switch there, which is better too than having to pull the lead in and out as you have to on the smaller models. It's all very good. Everything feels very nice, very nice. And the last thing I bought, I got a breakout lead. What do they call it? Yeah, stereo breakout, 3.5mm to dual 1/4 inch. So that one's a great way to get a lot of modern devices into this. So anything that's got a 3.5mm headphone jack and stereo, I can run that into here, into a stereo input like that and use it. So that's all kinds of things, you know, pocket recorders, you know, pocket effects unit like that sort of thing can run into that, for example. Old Walkmans, even my sound card out of the computer, I can use the audio out from the computer and put that into one of these as well. And that's another way to monitor other things off the computer, for example. So there we go. I'll wrap that up there. I don't know, I guess I'll do a follow-up on this once I've sorted out the recording. I might demonstrate that to make it clear how that works, if it works, which I'm sure it will. Got any questions about this, let me know in the comments. I will have a look at them and answer those as well. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.